if you haven't grabbed a copy, you absolutely need to check it out, particularly if you're considering leaving your corporate job to become an entrepreneur. I share in the book a whole lot of tips, the new mindset for those who want to build wealth as entrepreneurs. Okay, so welcome everyone. Greetings, greetings. Yes, we're getting warmed up. I'm hosting today's session a little bit earlier than usual, but that's good. Listen, we have a lot to share today. I have a lot to share, and we're going to cover so much today. So tell your friends to pull up. If you're new to this space, again, welcome. Call me Coach Toyin. Today, I'm going to dive deeper into the mind, body, heart connection. So the human design classes in my school covers a great deal of detail about owning your own power, emotional power, right? Intellectual power, and maturing in such a way where you can create your own world. Because here's what's going to happen. Knowledge, this type of knowledge makes you unstoppable, because what usually stops people on the journey to achieving greater in life is doubts, limitation, fears, some form of lack of confidence, lack of skills, lack of knowledge, lack of discipline. So there's human psychology, human behavior, emotional intelligence, right? The human design packs this integration of self. You are your own wealth creation powerhouse. Now, if you don't know this type of information, you will tend to live beneath that, limited, right? Okay? Because you have everything within yourself to manifest the life you want. However, even a nuclear power plant requires maintenance, nourishment, right? And so part of what's not happening for most people is you're not investing in yourself. You're not learning, you're not growing, right? You're not putting yourself in positions where you can actually unleash your power. Okay, so that's the biggest gap that I see. And the reason I'm bringing this type of resource out into the world is for people to understand that this type of information levels you up. Like when I talk about quantum leap in my school, is that the information we share, the classes I hold, all of those things is all about unleashing your own power. When we talk about knowledge is power. Listen, not all knowledge are created equal. You see, not all information will enrich you. Not all information is out here to help you prosper. There are certain thoughts that come to bring you doubt, fear, limitations, and to take you down. And there are certain thoughts, information, knowledge, classes, courses, programs, the ones I teach that will empower you, unleash you, equip you, give you the tools to create the life you want. Your choice. You always have the opportunity to choose where you invest your time, energy, and resources. And what you get out of those things is what you manifest. So today I'm going to cover how, right, really how your mind, body, right, art, just at a very, very high level, how they are supposed to coordinate in helping you fulfill your dreams. Okay? How they are supposed to work. So hold on a minute. I'm looking at the version of the image I put up. It's not the latest version, but maybe let's see if I can bring the latest one up. If I can bring it up, I will do that for those who are watching and the screen. You know what? I'll just tell you what the gaps are. Let me keep going. It's going to be a lot more work to pull in. But the biggest difference is that the edition, the final version, at the bottom of the pyramid, right? There's few things that I highlight that looks different from this final edition. Okay. So let's get started. I always say the human mind is the information processing center. Your thoughts processing center. The thoughts that come inside your system, yeah, thoughts, they're metaphysical, they're real. Nobody can touch them, but you know they're real. In fact, everything you're going to manifest is going to come from your thoughts. So let's start breaking it down. You want to grab your pen and your paper. My sessions are very, very deep. They're transformational. You're going to leave here more empowered, more equipped, more resourced. And then if you want to go deeper into being unstoppable, you really want to enroll immediately in my school, toyinumesiri.academy. Okay? I cover a lot of programs for business owners, personal development, self actualization, spiritual psychology, emotional intelligence, the most advanced, comprehensive, and complete program for entrepreneurs in the world. You're not going to find anything like this anywhere else. Okay. So the mind is the information processing system, information processing center. It pushes thoughts. Thoughts are roaming inside you. You also have your spirit, your soul, at the heart level, your mind, your body, right? Most sciences focus primarily on the physical side of us, right? This is your expression, your personality, right? How you show up into the world is how you manifest your own thoughts. You are a representation of a lot of information inside you, your DNA, right? What's out, what is being expressed on and on and on, right? Again, I'm just going to share very high level today. The deeper dive classes courses, they're available at toyinumesiri.academy to my members. Okay. So just think about the power of thoughts. Okay. When thoughts come in, they are processed by your mind through your nervous system, right? Your nervous system has a lot of like electricity, chemicals, they create reactions that become emotions. Okay, I'm sharing a lot, but I'm just going to give you high level. If you want to learn more and you want to go deeper, you get that in my school. Okay, so thoughts become, right, expression in your body as emotions. If you polarize your thoughts, if you carry negative thoughts, the emotions that would be manifested will be negative. If you carry positive thoughts, the emotions will follow suit as well. So in a way, you have control over the type of emotion you're experiencing. Okay, so that's the first thing. Your power to prosper. Okay, owning your own power to prosper is that the first power is how you use up your own energy and the thoughts you're attaching to your own energy that creates sensation in your own body. How you interpret life, the stories you tell, the decisions you make. Okay, that is the first power. Your power to choose thoughts, because those choices will manifest. Good morning. Yes, awesome. Time to learn. Yes, time to learn, right? So the first power is the power to choose the thoughts roaming through you. Listen, if you hold on to negative thoughts, they will manifest negative reactions. That's just how it is. Your mind listens to your thoughts and sees them as instructions. In the class, I talk about agency. Like in my school, we talk about agency, the self. You're not your mind. You're supposed to give instructions to your mind, but trust me, if you don't discipline, an undisciplined mind and an unempowered self will create crisis, to create a scenario you are not going to fancy. Okay, so I'm going step by step. Welcome everyone, greetings. Yes, yes, I know it's quite early today. People are still maybe mid-morning, early morning to mid-morning now for some people. Okay, so I want to acknowledge that. Tell your friends to pull up, like, subscribe, share. I'm also checking on the other platforms. We have different people joining. We have different platforms running at the same time. So feel free. Yeah, I see a cow on Instagram. We have LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Clubhouse, Twitter, and YouTube. Yeah. Hey, greetings, YouTube, YouTube people. Yes, yes, yes. So what I'm sharing with you is a game changer, is a transformational resource. Okay. So your mind processes your thoughts, but you have the power to choose your thoughts. If you choose, if you don't exercise that power well, particularly when people don't have agency or they've not done the work, the inner work I challenge my entrepreneurs to do in my school, in my membership, is that if you don't give yourself power. So for example, some of the things we see is that in childhood, when I say nature, nurture, culture, listen, I'm packing for those, if you're new, I'm going to dump a lot. When I say dump, we have a ton of classes. So I'm going to bring different thoughts from different classes. My students will understand what I mean. If you're not my student, become my student, because that's where you're going to really understand the depth and complexity of this. Okay. So part of what I see is that identity, personality, belief systems that people have adopted, who you are today, when you interrogate yourself, you realize that they've been shaped over the years. Some of it when you were 5, some of it when you were 10, some of it when you're 15. The lesser version, the immature side of people made certain decisions about who you are and who you're going to be. And part of manifestation is if you don't reprogram that setup, if you don't adjust it at an higher perspective, you will still be perpetuating and repeating the thought processes of your past. The decisions you made when you were 5, 6, 7, 10, how you perceive the world, your conclusions about who people are, who you are, who people are, who the world is, may have been shaped when you were 15. I speak very directly so that people know what's going on. And this is why I also designed the EQ classes for kids, parents of kids ages 6 to 13. Because when I've seen this pattern so much that I'm saying, listen, you can actually help the next generation by raising them and giving them the tools early on so that they don't have to do the work you're doing now, right? Because a lot of the work now is reprogramming. Is reprogramming, is interrogating your belief system and making sure that they are aligned to helping you manifest the future you want. So this is why I've seen this pattern so much: trauma, childhood stories, on and on and on. Is that if you don't own those things and if you don't work on them, they steal power from people, right? So if you don't feel powerful, it's because you've not matured. If you don't feel equipped, if you feel any form of inadequacy, some form of it, any form of it, is that growth is required. And there are four areas of growth, right? When I work with my clients and students, is intellectual growth for sure. You're going to study, you're going to make sure you're investing in the right type of knowledge, not negative one, the ones that will empower you. Knowledge is your ledge, it's the bridge, right? It bridges you from the realm of the known, what you know today, and into the realms of the unknown. When you want to manifest in the realms of the unknown, you need to expand consciousness. Okay, so you're going to need intellectual maturity, you're going to need emotional maturity, you're going to need spiritual maturity. And then we always talk about physical maturity, right? The food you eat, how you sleep, how you take care of your physical being. Okay, so all of that is important. Now, to dive deeper is if people have not matured in any of those dimensions, you're eating food, you're growing up, on and on, is that when it is time to be prosperous, you see, prosperity, wealth creation belongs only to the mature version of you. You have to be emotionally mature, intellectually mature, spiritually mature to handle wealth. I don't mean handle a salary. That's not what I'm saying. You can get a degree and earn a pay. The moment you switch over into becoming a wealth creator, where you have to manifest your own dreams, your own thoughts, you are the architect through which dreams are bettered. That process requires a mature version of you to receive the dreams, receive the ideas, and invest and pursue. Listen, the hand that holds the dreams, that is about to birth the dreams. That's why, even in physical terms, mature women give birth to babies. I'm trying to say mature, those who are mature spiritually, emotionally, intellectually, physically, right? They're the ones that can birth certain types of success. Okay, I see a cow. Yeah, guys, feel free to comment, introduce yourself, also invite more people to join us. Drop your thoughts. Anything I say that resonates, let me know as well. So maturity is required. Okay, so think about this: your belief system. I'm going to explain what belief systems are at a very, very high level. You go deeper in the classes I teach in my school. I'm going to explain very high level energy, thoughts, instruction, and then at the base, what I had in the updated version is emotions, words, actions. Okay, emotions, words, actions. I'm trying to see if I can pull that up, but I don't want to mess this screen up. It's so perfect right now. I don't want to. Oh my gosh. Let me see. Okay, give me listen. Let's see if I can work with speed and change that up to the I have the latest version here. So bear with me. Dun, 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 dun. done. Let's entertain. If I had music now, I will play some music for you or sing for you. Or or you go grab a coffee, grab a your tea, and then come back. I want to make sure I'm putting the latest one up on the screen. Okay, so I'm almost there. Let me replace the. Okay. Yeah, I think I should be able to do that. Presentations, upload. Sorry, guys. I'm committed to giving you. I did make that change as I was preparing today. So let's take this one off, and then let's bring this one on. Yay! You see now, okay, now we have the updated one. Okay, so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, and I also have a printout. Usually, these are available in my school for my students to download. Okay, so emotions, words, actions, reactions. And what I want to quickly share is the idea of your mind, heart, body, how they all talk to each other. Okay? So your heart, I call it the resource allocator. It's the one that prioritizes what's important to you. It's the one that gives permission to the mind through the belief system. It's the one that dictates, right, the desires of the heart. Okay? Your desires, your hopes, dreams, aspirations sits in your heart. And the one you are ready to manifest, you have to help the mind decide which one is important to you. Because your mind will need to use your time, energy, and resources to create reality, to give instruction to the body on what the body to do. So part of the problem, so I'll start highlighting a couple of the problems why people don't manifest is that number one, if you don't activate desire, nothing new would happen. Okay? If you don't desire long for something new, if you are satisfied with so and you are committed to survival, I've talked about commitment before. It's stronger than resolution, it's stronger than a decision. This is you saying to yourself, you will not hold anything back in fulfillment of your desires. Meaning you're going to give all of yourself in pursuit of that desire. When people give only halfway or a little bit, or they're tiptoeing into success. Listen, success too will tiptoe back to you. This is the law of sowing and reaping. Whatever you sow, you reap in proportion of it. So your desire is your first investment. Your longing, your heart's desire is signaling to your mind, prioritize this. This will satisfy the longing of my soul. So a longing that doesn't exist is not going to be satisfied. If you don't desire success, success is not going to, like, what do you want for dinner? What you desire is what will be prepared for you. So if you don't desire success, you don't desire to become a well builder, you don't desire to be an entrepreneur, that stuff is not happening for you if you don't desire it. Because that's why I said you are your own creator, wealth creator. Part of it is the desires you carry within yourself, is your own decision to invest your own energy, your own resources, your own time into manifesting your own dreams. This is why when I coach, I can only coach people who have unlocked desire. You can't coach anybody that is still like, should I not? I'm not sure. One leg here, one leg there. Nothing. Those people are not ready to invest anything. You've not invested your time, your energy into your future. Nobody can help you. These are the problems. One leg here, one leg here. There are some things you don't unlock until you decide and commit. Even God says he will not cut short the desires, your own desires. So he's waiting for you to desire, because out of desire is when you start asking for help. Nobody asks for help if they're not trying to do anything. In fact, this is why many people are entitled. Oh, listen, you're not doing me any favor if you invest in my class. Guess what? I am doing you the favor. You know why? When it is time to build the life you want, you're going to need materials. You're going to need help. You're going to need information. You're going to need support. You're going to need motivation. You're going to need so many things. You better start putting those things together. But anybody that is not building anything new, they do not need anything. They don't need anything. So that's why I will just leave those people alone. Because my job is not to make you hungry for the life God has for you. People who are not hungry for the promised land, even God backs off and says, okay, if you cannot fight, if you've not activated this, because desire is what starts the fight to win. This is when you say, I want to win. Children of Israel, here's the promised land. You don't want to go get it. You don't want to desire it enough to tear down opposition. Even God said, don't worry. Go back. I can only work with a generation that will listen to me, obey me, right? If you are willing and obedient, you will eat the good of the land. Your will, the will of man. It's your own power to pursue, the power of pursuit. If you pursue and you obey, meaning you do the right things God wants you to do, then you will eat the good of the land. So when anybody doesn't have any will, doesn't want to invest time, energy, resources, doesn't want to, you only want free, one leg in, how far can you go with what people are doing today? So I have a way of just filtering. I already know, I've done this work so many times that I know you cannot help people who cannot help, who is not ready to help themselves. Because at the end of the day, that's where charity is, right? Is that you give to those who cannot help themselves out of compassion, right? Out of empathy. You just give, you feed people, you give to them because they don't have the strength or capacity to pursue. And listen, Jesus said Paul will remain among. So that's not, those people are not what this information is about. But I tell you, one of the problems is that people are behaving, they are adopting that mindset of helplessness. Don't buy into the mindset that creates poverty. Somebody should come and help you, entitlement. Listen, it's a different category of people. So those are not the people I'm talking to now. I'm talking to people who are world builders. You have to run your own race. Jesus said, carry your cross and follow me. You have to do your own work. Let's see this comment. Yeah, if I don't, you say if I don't activate desire, nothing will change. Yes, like, because desire, think of desire as, when I talk about power, desire is that you are given permission to use your own energy in pursuit of certain results. Okay, right? And nobody can open your own, right? Nobody is supposed to touch your, even God, when he says, I put before you life and death, choose. Desire is your choice, right? Desire is a choice you make, because the moment you make that choice, what also happens is that choice requires you to invest energy into it. Your own, it requires your commitment, right? It requires a new life, a new way of being. So that, yeah, so part of the problem is when people don't activate desire and they are out in the world. Trust me, someone like myself, we can spot you. The energy is real. One leg in, one leg out. You can tell people who are just exploring. They've not decided if they're going forward or they're staying where they are. That energy does not draw. It doesn't draw help. It doesn't draw support. It doesn't release the resources, because but once you make a commitment, once you unleash desire, once your heart is open to a new reality, something happens, is that you really, God would also meet your desire with source and supply. That's when you start encountering somebody like myself. When they said when the student is ready, the teacher appears. That's part of it. Is that the moment people are waking, help shows up. You start seeing help. But when people are not awaking, no, help is helping somebody else. Help is helping somebody else. So let me say, belief system is tied to your own stories about your past, your present, and your future. Your own stories about your past, your present, and your future. And whatever those stories are, your mind will use those stories to create reality, to give instruction to the body to manifest. So, what does that mean? Be careful the stories you tell. That's why the human design classes, there are 7 classes in my school. You need to run and take those classes because I teach you how to make sure you understand, to develop the skills where you are working on your inner structure, your own stories, to make sure it aligns to the future, not the past. And also the tools to deal and confront with the past. The reason is because as you start trying to achieve greater success, you're writing a new story. When you go from employee mindset to entrepreneur's mindset, you are doing something new. You're using your mind differently. Guess what? You encounter the past because the past and the future will have to fight for resources. They'll fight for your time. They'll fight for your energy. So the past has a belief system of who you used to be. The future is trying to create the new life for you. But guess what? If your energy is tied and committed to survival, if your energy and time is committed to where you're coming from, if your resources are tied up in that, the future will be trying to take resources from the past and the past will not let it go. So that's where you start experiencing fears. Oh, if I let this go, what will happen? It start, corrupting the image of the future. The future is scary. Okay. Doubt. Who will people say? Is the past speaking. The mind that was programmed and is limited, doesn't have the tools to create and manifest the future, will scream so loud. So loud. It will talk about the limitation. We don't have this. Then you don't have that. Then you don't have this. Then listen. Reconciling your past and your future is the assignment of today. Yeah. Ekal says, amazing. I'm glad and awakened to get help. Yeah. He's taking some of my classes, right, Ekal? Yeah. So the past, present, and future, they are here today. As you're listening to me, they are here with you right now. Okay, they are here right now, and the challenge is, what are you going to do? What you do, the decisions you make now. Okay, the decisions we make in now is what helps us win the fight. And if you make no new decisions now, everything persists. You can walk away from this and not change anything. You wake up tomorrow, the same version of you. That's how it is. You keep manifesting your own programming until you disrupt that programming. And it's a lot of work because you have to tell a new story about what has happened to you, right? We have to say a new story of what has happened to us, what's happening to us now, and what will happen to us. When you start realizing that you have the power to dictate where you're taking your life or where you want, right, to go. What do you want to eat for dinner? You have the power to decide. Where are you going? You have the power to decide. But the moment you start saying, I don't know, that's a confused mind that has not received instruction. There's no clarity. Okay? When you haven't told your mind what you want, your mind can't give it to you. Right? Just practice this. What do you want for dinner? If the moment you say you don't know, the mind will be waiting on standby. Nothing happens, the body doesn't move. Nothing is, because it cannot solve a problem you haven't assigned to it. So when I say, what do you want for lunch? The moment you say, I don't know, you have to know. You actually have to know. Even your spouse will say, I'm waiting. Life is always waiting for you to make a decision about what you want. And when you don't make that decision, when you don't grab the bull by the horn, indecision is confusion. And confusion leads to anxiety. Because what you are seeing is more confusion. This is deep. This is deep stuff. So I'm going to start wrapping it. Listen, I just want to put this image for you to think about, and then go to my school, toyinumesiri.academy, and complete the 7 parts classes. Listen, it's deep. It's life-changing. Yeah, it's like it's it changes everything, changes the game, because at the end of the day, you have the power to write your own belief system. But if you don't have agency, the belief system was already written for you. When I say nature, nurture, culture in my school, is that nurturing has told you what to believe, culture has told you who to be. You have agreed to that game plan, and so you have become, right? You've manifested what people told you to be, who you agreed to be. That's where you are now. If you want something different, you have to write a new script. Now you have to hand your mind. And by the way, this is something you do almost every day, every moment, particularly when you just start that journey. Because the moment you are deviating from the past, okay, your mind will be screaming. It's like taking ice cream from a small child. Ah, give me back my ice cream. I love who I used to be. That's comfort zone. Yeah. So I always say, when it comes to self-actualization, the reason I develop these programs for entrepreneurs is because when you start going and consuming resources and time, that new future is taking your time, you're taking your money, taking your time, taking your money, taking your time, taking your money, taking your resources. You think the past will sit down and let you do all of that without screaming, because you are taking time from the past to create the future, right? Both the past and the future, they need you to give them attention, to give them, right, time, energy, resources. Survival requires energy. I hope people realize. Prosperity requires energy investment as well. So when people hold on to survival and they are crying for prosperity, prosperity will say, drop what you are holding, hold on to me. Prosperity needs you to hang on tight so that it can help you quantum leap into that future. But if you are hanging on tight to survival, you are not riding the plane. The plane took off without you. You see, when a plane is taking off, you still have to show up to the entry point. That's why I tell you that people who have not activated desire, they can't pursue, they can't chase. Right? So they expect us to chase them. No, sir, no, ma. You will pursue. When you want to buy a house, when you want to find a wife, when you want something, you pursue it. You put time, energy into it. And when you don't want something, you try to outsource it as if it's somebody else's responsibility. No. This is why I say poverty mentality will say government is responsible. Those people are responsible. That's a poverty mentality, because they have not taken responsibility for manifesting what they want. As long as you are thinking somebody else is responsible, that's an immature outlook on life. But if you know what you want, even those people can now help you. Government can help you. So when on my TV show, my programs, you see me bring on government leaders to talk about grants, programs. We have so many things planned for the year. Government can also help those who are ready to be helped. They cannot help. Listen, life has so many different paths. There are certain types of resources for people who are poor. No questions asked. Free food, free this, free that. Nobody challenges them to change their life, pretty much. The good society supports people. Good people support good people. That is a one type of resource. The resource I'm talking about is only for empowered people, people who are trying to build wealth, people who are trying to build businesses. There are other types of supports. There are other types of training programs to empower you, to strengthen your capacity to prosper. But trust me, if you don't show up with your own power, with your own strength, who is going to do the work? We don't we don't empower, like, guys, that's what I'm trying to say. You cannot be helped if you haven't unlocked your own desire. If you are not invested in your own future, you cannot be helped. Best thing you will get is charity, free content, free this, free that. You will have access to common knowledge instead of seeking uncommon knowledge. Uncommon knowledge is what you invest in. What is not available to all right people, because common knowledge will create common life, uncommon knowledge will create uncommon realities. The people who achieve success the most in life, they are investing in things an average person would discount and say, no, it's too expensive. Trust me, that life you want is expensive. Success doesn't go on sale. When you start doing this work, you realize that confusion is cheap. You can get it anywhere. Go on YouTube, spend a little time on Instagram, see other people living their life. You spin around, you drop that thing, you people are confused. And anxiety is cheap. When people start saying do the work, seek out clinical help if you need it. People who actually step out of their house to seek help, they're the ones that get well. I've said a whole lot in this, right? Says heaven help those who help themselves. Amazing. Okay, yeah. You see, these sayings, we need to break them down because I don't think, particularly for those of us that say we are Christians, right? For me, it is sad to watch people who actually have the inheritance of prosperity not practice any of its principles. They go to church every Sunday, right? Bless you, yes, no doubt. But when it is time to manifest, right? Because God would actually use your own mind, your own heart, your own body, okay, to receive everything He has for you. Jesus says, guard your heart, for out of it are the issues of your life. Renew your mind, okay? Those are your own assignments. If you don't do those two things, assignment, don't blame God. Because to receive everything He has for you, your heart and mind must be tuned. Joshua, I can quote scripture, Joshua 1:8. This book of the law shall not depart. Read it day and night, that you will make your own way prosperous. Even when God has guaranteed success for us, for you, you have work to do. So when people don't feel they don't have work to do and they say, oh, God help us, God help us, God help us. Listen, God has helped you. He has designed you with incredible capacity. But guess what? You've got to fuel that capacity with knowledge. He also said, his people perish, God's people perish for lack of knowledge. If you embody wrong thoughts and you believe lies, when it comes into the body, they manifest this to the kind. So let me show on this screen. So the heart, right, holds the belief system. What you think happened to you, what you think is happening to you, what you think will happen to you. The mind scans it, reads it, and sees it as instruction. And its job, okay, is to go out there and make it all true, make it all manifest. You manifest your own belief system. As a man thinks in his heart, so is he. So what you think in your heart, what you embody, okay, that's who you are. That's your manifestation. That's your reality. That's what you will attract. What is in your heart is what you will attract. What is in your heart is what you will attract. What is in your heart is what you will attract. So I say, make sure what is in your heart is right, is aligned to what it is you want to attract. So if you don't want to attract doubt, fears, unbelief, you've got to replace it with faith, right? You've got to replace it with a sense of possibility. You've got to replace it with abundance. I walk you through the technical side of it in the classes in my school. The mind then takes your energy. The energy, listen, when you have desire, you are also giving permission for your mind to pursue. If you close it up, your mind will not pursue. And your mind will also stop you from deviating from your belief system. So if you've adopted the belief of, oh, money is this, money is that, don't spend money, you don't have money, you don't do this, right? The time when it's time to invest in a program like mine, if you haven't done that work, you've not adopted the mindset of a wealth builder or somebody that sows and reaps greater harvest for their investment. If you don't adopt that mindset, the old mind will challenge you and say, you're paying this for that. You're paying that. It's too expensive. Let's go on YouTube University. You can get it for free. Trust me, you're not going to get this for free. You're not. But it's a lie. Sometimes that mind will lie, would twist hands, would because it's the old way, the person you used to be. But Bible says old things are passed away. So some old things need to pass away. Some old thoughts needs to pass away. Some old beliefs needs to pass away. And a new life is here, right? To be manifested. So your mind will now, because the mind also gives instruction to the body. It takes permission from the heart, gives instruction to the body. Energy, thoughts, instruction, your nervous system, that's part of what it does. It creates mobility. It gives power. It gives life. It gives electricity to this flesh for it to perform in accordance to what you say you want. So if you say you want to eat spaghetti, who is going to cook that spaghetti? Your body. But if you say you don't want spaghetti, you want junk food, who is going to fulfill it? Your body. So your body obeys you through the mind. That's what it does. It's supposed to obey you. But when this thing doesn't work, is when the mind is falsely programmed and is listening to another script, and the belief system has been programmed by a script that makes you sabotage everything you want. So on one hand, you want this. On the other hand, you are doing this. You have to reconcile those two things. A double-minded person cannot receive anything from God. And so when the body now receives all the instruction, guess what's going to create? A reaction, chemical reaction in form of emotions, right? Words, action. But hear me, what you're saying, what you're experiencing, what you're doing, you've got to pay attention to your own voice, to your own actions, to your own emotions. Your heart ought to be listening and saying, is that who I am? When you say certain things, this is why I say you need a pen and a piece of paper. You need to be hearing what you need to be decoding the thoughts flying through you and picking them and being careful to delete what needs to be deleted and to keep what needs to be kept. When you don't do that, it's a discipline, it's a skill. When people just accept everything, you don't know the negativity that will be manifesting. This is where you flush yourself. Every day you have to clean that system. So sometimes when you hear yourself, you're like, where did that come from? You have work to do. But most people accept everything, thinking all the thoughts is theirs. No, you're supposed to filter it out. Just like when you eat food. Yes, food can be placed inside in front of you. You're not supposed to eat everything, and not everything you eat is good for you. So the system digests, extracts, brings life into the cells, and the ones that is dead, it takes it out of your system. That's how you're supposed to be in relationship with thoughts. Not every thought that comes inside you is good for you. The skills to make sure you are, self-therapy, beliefs, I go deep into it so that when thoughts come into you, right, you have the skills. You have to develop the skills to handle your own thoughts, to handle your own emotions, because that's where your power is. That is the utilization of your own energy and your own thoughts. Your energy and your thoughts, when they come together, they create a reaction. You start speaking a certain way, you start acting a certain way, you start feeling, experience, because part of what the body is going to do is like a dashboard. Before it starts asking or doing things, it would challenge you to feel in your body what you are about to manifest in the world. And so you're supposed to intercept it. If that expression in your body is not pleasant, if it's not positive, you still have a chance to talk back to your mind and say, no, we're not doing that. Come back home. This is where this discipline, the Bible talks about self-control. This is where it comes in. Is that if you don't control yourself, it can go off. Unless you ask it to go off. There's sometimes it needs to just, I don't know. I know, but you get my point. Okay, what is in my heart is what I attract. Yes. Yes. What you hold true in your heart. Okay. So in your heart are your acceptance and your rejections. You actually have permission to say no to certain things, which is part of agency. And many people have not even practiced the skill of saying no. So in a way, they open their hearts to everything. A city without walls. Anybody comes in. Oh, yes. People pleasing. Okay? People who do people pleasing, as you're going into higher levels, you have to confront that. Because you will be manifesting their own dreams, not yours. You'll be using your energy to manifest what they want, not yours. And you get depleted. They are happy, you are not. You cannot fulfill, right? People who do people pleasing are not fulfilled in their hearts. Because you are using your time, energy, and resources to fulfill the dreams and aspirations of other people. You're trying to make them happy at your own expense. Now, if you make them happy and you are unhappy, that is generosity. So that is different. Generosity is something that comes willingly from the heart. It flows from the heart because that's who you are. You did it in agreement. This is part of one of the powerful scriptures. You see, Jesus said, I laid my life, nobody took it from me. Big difference. Anytime you feel somebody is extracting things from you without your own agency, that's not generosity. That's why even Bible will say, when you make a donation, do it with all of your heart. Okay? So giving with all of your heart is generosity. Giving with half of your heart is wickedness. You are being wicked to your own heart. You are denying your own heart because your own soul would not have wanted to release that thing. But you grabbed it from yourself, gave it to another thing, and your soul will question you. That's why you reconcile in your heart. Give what you can give with all of your heart and be able to say no when your heart is saying no. This is part of agency. But I trust me, many people have not done this work. They cannot say no. They are living life with lack of agency. You cannot tell people no because you're afraid of their judgment, of their whatever you're afraid of. You've not done this work in my school. You've not. So when it is time to prosper, to unleash, when that future needs you to listen, disentangle yourself from anything that is taking and stealing energy from you. This is the inner work. When people say they don't have time, they don't have energy, they don't have this, they don't have that, it's because you've not done the inner work. So I'm going to keep this simple. You said, well, yeah, if you want to come up, come up. I'm going to wrap it up here. This is deep. We can go on and on and on and on this topic. I'm creating awareness so that people will awaken and wake up that content, being there, doing things externally, that's not what is most important. What is most important really is actually owning your own power. Okay? Power over your thoughts, power over your emotions, power over your belief system, making sure you're the one writing the stories that pleases you, your heart, and God's heart, and that you are manifesting exactly what's in that script. That you are the author. You know, Jesus is the author and the finisher of our faith. Listen, he wants us to adopt the mind of Christ, the mind of Christ towards us. Your mind must come along, your heart must come along, your body must come along for you to manifest the future God has for you. So on that note, thank you so much. Join us at toyinumesiri.academy. That's my first name, last name, one word, .academy. Type that into your browser. Join my membership. Start immediately doing that class because the work you do today really is what transforms tomorrow. And if you do nothing different today, people stay where they are. You might be burning energy, showing up everywhere, but trust me, if you don't fix that belief system, your mind will continue to question you. Every step you want to take into that future, your mind, right? When it reads that belief system, if the belief system says, oh, we don't have this, oh, we don't have that, if we do this, we don't have this, you know, scary story. You've scripted scary story, stories of fear, stories of doubt, stories of limitation. You don't have this, so you can't do this. So this is this. This is what happened to you. This is what you don't have. This is this. You can't do this. People like you don't do this. You are the one that wrote all of that story, and your mind will be listening to you and will say, "Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I believe you. I agree with you. I agree." Your mind will always agree with you. It's not supposed to be, right? It will agree. Ah, okay, you don't have this. Don't worry. Then it will keep you safe. The mind is also designed to keep us safe. Yeah? The mind is designed to keep you safe. So anytime you present to it a scary story of doubt, of limitations, of fear, to say, sorry, 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 don't worry. I'm sorry to have disturbed you, sir. Because you're like a king and a queen in your own castle within yourself. So when you say, don't disturb me, don't do this, your mind will say, sorry, 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 sorry. So it will cut off anything that you say is disturbance, including things that you need for your future, because it's going to obey you. It's going to obey you. If you say, oh, this is what's going to happen to me if you do this, if I invest, the money goes away. If you do this, it's too expensive. If you do that, it's this. Your mind says, okay, sorry, sorry, sorry. I'm even sorry to have suggested this to you. I'm sorry, sorry. Because it's trying to calm your nervous system down. When you're agitated, it will say, sorry, sorry, sorry. So it tries to suit you and not disturb you. So that's why many people don't go up and achieve greater success, because success would throw every would. Listen, you want to go on a plane, they will say hang on tight. You're supposed to learn how to tell your mind, hang on tight. We're taking off. Whether you are disturbed or not, listen, let the shaking begin. Let me say transformation. You want to lose weight, you want to gain weight, you want to gain muscles, you want to gain power. Listen, even to start a generator, something, strength you've not used before, you need to develop new skills. Trust me, there's going to be emotional dysregulation. And emotion is why many people, oh, it's scary. Let's not go there anymore. Your mind will say, sorry, 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 sorry. Okay, let's make you comfortable. Just stay on that job. Just stay on the job. Be comfortable. Don't. We're not going to even try entrepreneurship anymore. It's too risky. Let's just stay here. Oh, this money is enough. So it will argue for you to make you happy. Meanwhile, those who are crossing over, they're like bracing up. Like, that's why I tell you my school is brace up, quantum leap, gain the skills, emotional skills, get your heart right, do the inner work, get your mind right, listen, because you are going higher. You see? Those who want to go higher must hold on tight and be ready for the ride. The ride up would shake you because you need to become a different version of you. And so if you don't want to change, you don't want to invest in yourself, you don't want to learn new skills, you don't want to empower yourself, you don't want illumination, you don't want to, the greater side of you to emerge. Jesus said, except a grain falls to the ground and dies, the life inside it does not come out. Greatness emerges out of an inner work you do. When you see your power, you know your power, and you even have to pump more power into your power. Knowledge is power. Listen, you cannot do this work with ignorance. Lack of knowledge is confusion. You have to avoid confusion. Anything that confuses you, anything that gives you doubt, anything that gives you fear, anything that says you don't do this because you've not activated the inner power to build wealth. You've not equipped yourself, you've not educated yourself, you've not enlightened yourself. So when people are in the dark and they are confused, I'm like, listen, invest in light. Buy bulb. You have a power source. Illuminate yourself. Invest in the type of knowledge that would help you go higher. You see this mind? If you don't train it, the past can tell you, but this, but that. This is too expensive. That you get picky. You're picky. When God is giving you a buffet and saying, let's go, people are cutting things down, dreams down, because they are only willing to give a little bit into that future. But it requires a lot. It actually requires all of you. The type of future that is worth, right, pursuing is actually the one that would give you the life of your dreams. So the life of your dreams is usually going to cost you. And this is also part of the problem. When people think it's not going to cost them, yeah, whatever you give to that life, you get. Listen, this thing is so like fundamental. It's so like factual. I hope you're not even surprised that you already know this, that you can even pass it on to the next generation, that whatever you invest in your life, if you don't go to school, you don't get what people who go to school get. Right? If you don't train yourself, you cannot be a master. This is so simple. If you see a child and he's not going to practice and he's not showing up, how is he going to win? If a child is not doing homework, is not showing up, is not learning, how are they going to pass? Like these things, the rules don't change just because you grew up. But trust me, some people think they can cheat nature. They think they are wiser, that they can do little, do the barest minimum, and get a big harvest. Ooh, where is that? It doesn't happen. The only people that do that are people who adopt a corny life, a wrong life, who steal and who do all the wrong things. Those who want to go ahead and destroy themselves and other people, right, through negative action, they're the only ones that holds true, where they do nothing and they go and steal and do all the nasty things, right? That's only when that can happen. People who destroy other people's right because they want to achieve success instead of doing the right things. That's only when this wrong thoughts, right? But it's their own belief system. They believe they don't have to do this, but they can still get it. You see? And so they adopt means, deadly means, right? Because of their own belief system. So, yes, whatever is in your heart, your mind and body will manifest. It will create it. And so the real work is to work on our heart. That's the real work. Because when you get your heart right, because when I say heart, this is where Jesus said life flows from your heart. This is where you receive. Parable of the sower. This is where you also really receive everything. This is also where you grow. Your ideas, you receive the ideas, you bet the ideas, you nurture it in your heart, you give energy to it. When you're ready and you say, I'm ready to manifest, desire is activated. It's like getting your mind ready and saying, okay, we're ready to go. This is when your mind starts saying, shopping list. Okay, in order to do this, what do we need? Okay, and you need my school. You need my school. If you want to become an entrepreneur, you're going from corporate to become an entrepreneur. You need my school if you want to do it faster. If you want to learn quicker, okay? If you want to access the tools that will help you build both your own inner power and the power you're going to use to build wealth, yes, we need to nurture it. What God has invested in us, we need to grow it. We need to develop skills because part of manifestation is the embodiment of knowledge, the embodiment of skills. Find a man that is skilled, he will stand before kings. What you can do, what you can contribute to society can be measured, can be rewarded. That's where wealth comes from. Your ability to influence people is how you're going to contribute into their own well-being. That can be measured. And so you can decide to contribute to life in a smaller dimension or in a bigger dimension based on how much you want to invest in yourself, right? How much you want to invest in yourself will determine the capacity you're going to grow to deliver impact in the world, transformation results, and also for yourself. So, part of manifestation is based on the decisions you make. I go deeper, like, listen, all kinds of programs to help you, right? Become the truest version of you to build and manifest the life and business you want. It's possible. But you have to focus, you have to discipline, you have to invest, you have to prioritize as well. So if you have any questions, reach out. Thank you to those who joined. I see Okechukwu in the room. Thank you for being here. I'm going to close out now. The link up above is to the human design classes. There are 7 classes, and then there are also 7 classes for sales, advanced sales, different types of sales programs there. You can check those out as well. Okay. And then the 10-week accelerator, the more advanced side. Again, I'll continue to do what I do. It's about the full development of those who want to build wealth. So if you want to grow your wealth, grow your personal power, grow your influence, then I would love to be your coach. Check out toyinyumesiri.academy. That's the Entrepreneurs Academy. We also have the Quantum Leap programs because we go inside. Okay. Nothing is stopping you except yourself. When we awaken to that, every day we'll be doing that inner work. Nothing is stopping you except yourself. So it's time to manifest the dreams and life you want.